act expeditiously and know exactly what our goals are for this committee and the Citizen Bond Oversight Committee as a whole. And I have looked at Dennis Lee's CD, and I've extracted what I felt was important, and I've added a couple of little things to this. So I don't know if any of you had an opportunity, but I did tell President Groves, because he asked, is your committee ready to submit questions? I said, well, I do have some, but we are meeting today, and hopefully we'll have more. Whatever we have, you'd like to see quickly. So.
Can we submit them through you then?
Yeah, but if anybody's had a chance to review any of the information that I've given them and something has really stood out that you feel is vital and important and isn't part of what I've outlined, but we'll go through these one at a time, then I'd like to hear from you.
The one thing that just, and I have gone through, I started going through them, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff. But SGI.
Hang on, because we're going to go one by one.
Well, but it's not one of these things. So, okay, we'll do it underneath.
Yes. So, the other thing I'd like to try to do is, because you represent the change order subcommittee, you can represent the audit subcommittee, and Orlando's is not here, Nevada High School. You have kind of an overall idea of what's going on. Maybe you can communicate some of the concerns or questions that these subcommittees might have relative to this. And as I told anyone who's asked me, we're not interested in anything that has to do with malfeasance or, Charles Ramsey or Dr. Harder or anyone else. We're really only looking into the areas that concern the Citizens Bond Oversight Committee and their role in oversight of the bond program. So these are the things I want to really stick to. So if you have a chance to speak to, or you're part of a committee and they have questions that they would like to ask, I'd like them to communicate through you, and you can communicate them back to me if that's possible, as I compile this list of questions that we'd like to have included in the scope. All right, so let's start first with the big one, SGI. The SGI contract is dated October 2013, and it has some interesting language in there, some concerns in terms of actual contract language. It's not a contract, it's called an agreement. And as a person who's looked at contracts in the past, I was a little bit surprised when I first saw it, how loosey-goosey it is. And so now that these allegations have been brought forward, I think this is definitely an area of real concern for this oversight committee. So these are the questions that I've compiled thus far. What are the terms of the contract? Most contracts have definitive terms. When was the contract ratified? This is dated 2013, but they've been working on the school bond program for many years. What was the evaluation process, and how was this company selected? There are rumors that they were not actually the top most responsible bidders. Why was there no contract in place for 3 years? Why is SGI using this facilities operations center without payment for their use of the facility?
On that question, I wasn't sure how did that become a question? Because where I work, we have outside contractors that come in and do work, and we would never think of charging them rent. It's part of the, if you want them here on site, then they're gonna be on site.
If you charge a rent, we're gonna charge it back and
Yeah,
overhead.
Exactly. So I don't quite understand why that question's on
Well,
there.
the question came up because staff said that there was an agreement for payment, a portion of the payment of the lease in the building.
There was an agreement
And
With
some-
SGI.
So
Yes.
they're sharing the cost of
the-
our lease.
A percentage of the lease.
So it's not necessarily where we're not paying, or they're not paying us rent, they're not paying a proportion of the rent.
Correct.
Okay.
And has SGI billed properly and kept all records current and updated? So now,
Okay, well, we had a bit of a discussion in the chamber meeting with SGI. And, it, you know, when I've reviewed the contract, and I always need to look at it a few times, but it's a time and material contract, and they agreed that that's what it was, it's a time and material contract. And so, and it's only authorized through certain projects are authorized through the fiscal year. Other projects are authorized just for that project, like they use Pinot Valley Middle School as an example, Pinot Valley High School as an example. They've only been authorized to do that construction management through the shoring, the hillside stabilization, the parking lot, improvements, and the demolition. And that's all the authorization that they've received as far as construction management. Now, what their involvement is on the design end of it, I don't know. Because they are being paid for design consultation as well, which, are we paying them, or we pay the architect for design? I mean, that's a question to me. I mean, why would we have two people, we're paying two design consultants, we're paying. And so, but in my mind, the time and material isn't bound by dates. It's bound by time and material. They can only bill for the work that they do. Hence, we should be able to stop it. Or the district should be able to stop it.
That's not a question. And then you're trying to,
That's a question, yeah.
you want to question whether we can stop it.
Yeah, I want to know if we can stop it.
Well, but the way, we got all the first of all, there's contracts before the job 13, right? And those are all the ones we asked for.
Right.
Going back to.
I haven't seen, I'm just clarifying, I never saw those, I only saw the 2013.
They're all in there. And then you remember they gave us a big pile, and then a lot of the exhibits were missing, and we asked for, misunderstood on it. But in terms of, they do a spec sheet on each project, right?
Right.
And the district approves it. So-
Right.
And it says from here to here, it's $1,000.
Correct.
So when you say stop it.
Well, but
we just don't-
it's still a time and material based
Yes.
on the time that they spend. They do an estimate,
Yes.
but it's just an estimate.
Yes.
It's not a
based on-
ceiling, though.
It's not, yeah, well, yeah, it's not a max.
No,
There-
yes, it is.
No, it's not.
That specific document, we got all copies of it, each one of it.
Well, I haven't seen that, but it doesn't appear to be any, but there doesn't appear to be, out of $1.6 billion, we paid them and the architect $300 million.
Well, whatever we paid it, there's for each project sheet, it gives you the people that are gonna work on it, the hours, and their billing rate. And they come up with a dollar amount, and the district approves that.
They approve it as the budget, but it's still done on a time and material
Yes,
basis.
but if there's a maximum on that sheet. In other words, if they're gonna do the
So if
project
it-
management for Pinot Valley High School, they've got a dollar value, they list these people and the billing rates.
But I think what's going on is when they hit that maximum, they're just authorized to do more.
Well, that's fine.
Well, no, it's not fine.
The point is, I'm not saying fine, but the district will have to approve that, or they won't get paid.
No, you're, yeah, it gets approved, but,
Well, so you can't, you can't say that it's a.
no, but what I'm saying is, we can get a different construction manager or put it out to bid.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but that's a whole different issue.
Well,
That's
no,
not a
I don't
question.
think it is, because they were saying that, no, we can't make a change now, that we're locked into these people, no more changes, they can't make a change up through another 3 years or something like
Well,
that.
That's a different question. That's a different question. That's the question is, what is the termination date of the SGI contract? And they've taken a position because the contract code says it's 5 years, their lawyers say it's 5 years.
But if it's
And
a
I-
time and material contract, it can terminate
I agree.
when that stops,
I
whatever
agree.
project
But
stops.
you gotta recall, Ramsey amended the contract to say it could not be canceled for the
it's still not a standard contract that's to the benefit of the district.
Right.
And we're overseeing that,
Right.
so I think it is.
That's a legitimate question. Why was that put in there, A, and B, what is the termination date of that agreement? Because I don't buy that it's 5 years.
When you say you don't buy it's 5 years,
I don't
do you think it's
support that.
longer, shorter? You think it's
Shorter.
completely at our discretion
But
based on how
perhaps-
much work we give them?
Right,
But
yeah.
see, in my mind, it's based on how much work we give them.
Right.
We can not authorize, as the district,
Yeah.
could not authorize work anytime they want,
Yes.
and then it's done.
Yes, but then who's gonna do the work? I mean,
Well, then you go out and you get
Well, yeah.
somebody like Gilbane, or
I know, but the point is.
or you
got-
just get the district to do it themselves.
Right, but you gotta hire people, you gotta get them on board. I mean, it would be just take Pinot Valley High School, just think we got a new construction manager about, that would be a good, for the district to take it over. I mean, it would be so disruptive. They'd have to get the people on board, they'd have to bring them up to speed.
Unless they did it on a separate contract where.
I disagree with it being disruptive or hard.
Well-
I mean, there's construction managers, you can pull construction people in.
Okay, I think that's a good
For
question.
instance, if you did, if it's based on what the milestones are or the separate contract, say SGI finishes up the shoring,
Yeah.
maybe the demolition, but the next phase when we hire.
The next phase is the building of the building.
Right, and maybe
so at that
that's,
point- at
that
that
would be the
point-
time.
Yeah,
to-
no, that's what I'm saying. See, they've been authorized through, they're contracted through the demolition,
Mhm.
the hillside stabilization, the detention pond, and the interim campus. That's all they've been authorized to proceed on. And so when the new building starts to come out, that's when we go find another construction
Okay,
manager.
okay, so the question to me is whether we can do that, that's the question.
You're right.
Because the district is saying it's a 5-year deal, and you cannot terminate for convenience, therefore you can't do anything for 5 years. You could not go out.
Right, we need to figure out what the term,
Of the,
what the real term is.
Right.
But in the change order meeting, when I asked him, I said, is it time and material? And the guy from SGI said it is.
Well, that's the payment terms, but the term, the.
No, I asked him specifically the contract. Is it a time and material contract?
It is.
And so a time and material, I do a lot of time and material work, we do. And it can be stopped at any time.
But that's your payment limit.
No, it's
is time
no,
and materials.
it's not, there's no limits on time and material.
Okay, but the question is, with the clause in there that we cannot cancel it to our convenience,
Yeah.
and with the.
That would be the problem.
That's part of the agreement.
Right.
The 2013 agreement
Right.
states that the district cannot terminate for
But then that's,
convenience.
But that's the question, that's
Yes, the
the question.
but that's not done in good faith of the district.
Well.
No,
we're not
no, and
debating
that's something that
that
we're the bond oversight board, and I think that we can take a look at that.
Right.
So I have another thought on this whole subject of terminating the contract, or at least not terminating the contract, but not having SGI do the work. You know, and I noticed in here it says that construction manager shall provide, on such article 2.1, shall provide the service described herein and under Exhibit A. Parties agree the construction manager service described herein are based on construction manager / general contractor structure of the project. The district reserves the right to change the structure, including implementation, either the construction manager / multiple prime, design build, lease, back structure, etc. So I guess my question, I don't know if you guys know, is does that mean that if we went to, for example, the design build, that we have to modify the contract, or if we want to use SGI, we could modify the contract?
That I don't know, and I think there's limits on doing design builds.
Well, see, that's, I was wondering, because I know
Well-
that there are in public and various public
Yeah.
entities, there's different kinds of, I don't know what they are.
I can see that's one thing, we're bidding a lease spec right now for Brentwood School District.
The lawsuit is
Liberty.
out, right?
No, it's the